What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Kentucky Derby update. We are back for another week. We kind of had a slow week on the track, but the action's going to heat up in the next 3 weeks for sure, starting with this one. So like always, though, we'll go over what happened last week. We'll give Jon White and my top five for the Kentucky Derby, and then we'll go into what's coming up in the weeks to come. Well, next week, I should say, or if you're watching on Monday, this week, as we look into the Kentucky Derby. All right, let's get to it, and let's recap what happened, and we'll start with the Virginia Derby. And I think many might be looking around going, what did happen? What did we just watch in this race? That's what my buddy Ryan Stillman texted me right after the race. And it was an odd one. There's no doubt about it. We had Getaway Car on the lead, but he was done after about 6 furlongs, really. He said, to hell with it, and called it a day. American Promise was tracking Getaway Car, and he was able to just kick away from there without any trouble whatsoever and win by 7 3/4. The track was playing lightning fast during this 3-day festival. So do not, or I guess it's a festival, whatever you want to call it, but the track was playing extremely fast. So don't get too carried away with final times when it comes to this, because like I said, it was a very fast track. Also, this was a 1-turn mile and an eighth race, so that'll affect the times a little bit as well. Nevertheless, 95 Beyer speed figure for American Promise, who at this point I would say you would call extremely inconsistent. Number one, as he did when he broke his maiden, he ran a pretty good figure, and then was kind of no good, facing tougher in a couple of races before coming back here and looking sharp again. Give him all the credit. Dwayne Lucas back in the Derby again. And I've said this a million times, Dwayne Lucas now 89 years old. And when he had his run, with the great filly, or when, Sees the Gray was able to win the Preakness, like you kind of feel like, okay, that's probably the last one, right? And then he just keeps getting horses in these big races. Unbelievable that Lucas, still at 89 years old, has American Promise, and he may have another one. We'll talk about him here in just a second. So a nice win for him. Render Judgment up for second. Omaha up for third. Like I said, Getaway Car was pretty much done at the 6 furlong pole. Rapture never picked up his feet. That was one we thought would run okay. On Authentic Gallop, it looked like something may have went kind of wrong with him. He just totally quit, completely. So it was a weird race. I don't think anybody other than the winner really fired with a huge effort. Rendered Judgment and Omaha, especially the latter there, Omaha has kind of got up in third or fourth for these big race, or quote unquote big races, Derby preps, and he did that. He did it again here. Rendered Judgment. Same kind of thing, just kind of ran on, but nobody was around American Promise. And to be honest, I love that Lucas is in it, but I don't take this race real seriously. Good win. Good job if you had him. He paid almost 8-1 to win it. So, credit to you if you picked him. Credit to Lucas for getting another horse into the big dance. But end of the day, I'm not sure what this one is going to, do in the Kentucky Derby. But like I said, it is a pace presence. We know that for sure. He can get up to the lead, so maybe he plays a factor there. It's just we've seen him a few times against horses that are a little bit better than this, and he just hasn't fared well. So hard to have a ton of confidence. This could have just been he fired a very good race, and the rest of them just weren't that good. So American Promise, a big win. He's in the Derby. Like I said, congrats to Dwayne for getting another one in. All right, let's get now to the top fives for Jon White and I. And I'll just there's no changes, so I'll just read them off here pretty quickly. I'll read mine and his, and then we'll get his weekly comments as he sends to me each week. So we'll just recap it. Coal Battle, number 5. Barnes, number 4. Sovereignty, number 3. Citizen Bull, number 2. Journalism, number 1. So that's my top 5. And I'll comment a little bit about these before we get to Jon's. Just want to go through these quickly and show you what we've got this week. And then we'll go to his. Coal Battle, number 5. Citizen Bull, number 4. Barnes, number 3. Sovereignty, number 2. And Journalism, number 1. So same top 5, just different order. I'll make some comments now. Coal Battle, it looks to me like we're either going to go Arkansas Derby or they're just skipping it and training up to it. That's kind of the latest news on him. Barnes sounds like he's going to the Arkansas Derby. Latest news on him, according to Bob Baffert. I will pause when I say that because Baffert has kind of been saying, yeah, this horse will go here, and then he'll flip-flop or change his mind. That's the latest kind of indication is Barnes going to Arkansas. That is not for sure. The number or Sovereignty, the horse that I have at 3 and Jon has at number 2. Looks like the Florida Derby for him. Citizen Bull, is the Santa Anita Derby. All indications are he's going to Santa Anita for the Santa Anita Derby, and then journalism to the Santa Anita Derby as well. So that's kind of how that shapes up. All right, Jon White's comments this week. He said, even though American Promise is heading to the Kentucky Derby after a big win in the Virginia Derby, he does not crack my Kentucky Derby top 5. In fact, my top 5 will be the exact same as it was last week. Looking ahead, and that's what we'll do next as well. Looking ahead, I'm very interested to see what happens in the Louisiana Derby, especially in terms of what 7-2 morning line favorite John Hancock does. John Hancock was ultra game when victorious in the Sam F. Davis Stakes. He beat Owen Almighty, who came back obviously to look great in the Tampa Bay Derby. If John Hancock remains undefeated by winning the Louisiana Derby, you can bet I'll be looking to make room for him in my next top 5. I'll echo those comments from Jon White. Like I said, those were from John. I'll echo the comments and agree with him. I've got my eye on John Hancock. We'll have a full preview of that race coming up later at racingdudes.com on the YouTube page. But yeah, I think John Hancock is kind of the one that projects to be potentially better than just a good horse, maybe a really good horse. All right. That being said, let's put this back up on the screen for you now. Here's the field for the Louisiana Derbies. We have 2 prep races, the Louisiana Derby and the Jeff Ruby Stakes coming up this week. So like I said, here's the field for this one. John Hancock is the favorite. The odds are out at 7-2. They're not up here, but he is the favorite. So a lukewarm favorite. I don't know if the betting will reflect him being lukewarm, but as far as what he is right here, a lukewarm favorite. Chunk of Gold. This is a horse that chunked up for a piece of things in the Risen Star last time out. Tistastic. Asmussen taking another shot with him. Yinzer, he was a good maiden special weight winner last time out. Caldera, of course, second to getaway card in the Sunderland Derby. He's in this one. Built kind of hit the board in a couple of these races after winning the Gun Runner, to start, at the end of his 2-year-old season, I guess I should say, right here at Fairgrounds. Vassimo, he was 4th last time out in the Risen Star. And then Furio, Instant Replay, and Hypnus, kind of rounding out the field there. Maybe not having quite as good a chances as some of the other ones we just mentioned, but there it is. So it's a nice field of 10. I feel like this year the Fairgrounds Trail has been pretty, just weird, I would say. And a lot of it is injuries have hurt it. Like Built wins the Gun Runner, but he kind of hasn't been as good the next couple of starts. Disco Time was able to win the Lecomte with a very wide trip. No works really planned or since or whatever. Maybe he's going to try one more prep, but something happened to him. He got hurt. And then Magnitude was super impressive, but he's hurt as well. So injuries really hurt this trail this year. But I don't know, maybe John Hancock comes here and saves it, or Caldera comes in and saves it, or something like that. All right, let's go to one more coming up, the Jeff Ruby Stakes. This one is a field of 12, also eligible there, field of 13. Of course, only 12 will run. Baby Max and California Burrito, California Burrito and Baby Max, the 1-2 finishers of the John Battaglia, are back here for this one. They look pretty decent in that race. Not a lot of bad things to say about those horses. But I think also the 3rd place finisher of that race, Maximum Promise, is here. But what about Poster? He comes in here after running 3rd in the Sam F. Davis. And so Poster, if you remember, started on the turf and looked really good, then went to and won the Rimson as a 2-year-old. Sam F. Davis last time out got way behind, did make up some ground, got 3rd, beaten about 2 to 3 lengths, but he was behind Owen Almighty, who came back to romp, and then John Hancock, who I think we think, hey, he's a decent horse. He's one that we could see maybe making an impact on this thing, maybe winning the Louisiana Derby. Stay tuned for the preview of that. So, even that 3rd place effort, where on the surface, like, yeah, that wasn't that great. Well, he was making up ground. It was his first start of the year. He may be a little bit, that race may be a little better than what we originally thought. So he shows up here, and of course, never been on synthetic, but has that turf form. It's not always a guarantee that that's going to translate, but usually that's a good sign. So we'll kind of see what happens with him. All right. Well, it's about all I got. It's kind of a slower week. That happened this last week was kind of a slower week. That's the Virginia Derby. It was fun and everything, but I don't know what really we get out of it. But now we really start to learn. Now we really start to build. Just 9. There's 8 Kentucky Derby prep races left in the United States. There is 1 left in Japan, and then 1 over in Dubai. So just 10 total. only 8 in the United States. So we're in the final stretch here. 3 big weekends plus the Lexington for that 4th weekend to kind of wrap this thing up. So there is a ton of stuff to look forward to, guys. Stay tuned to the channel. You know, we'll be here keeping you updated with everything that's going on. So, all right, guys, thanks everybody for watching this Kentucky Derby update. We'll see you back here for the next one. Hit that like button if you liked the video. Hit subscribe if you really liked it. Want to get alerted anytime we do videos like this. And most importantly, we'll see you right back here next week for another Kentucky Derby update.